what our values are, and we're turning a blind eye. And like they saw that as an affront, and basically said, "Stop sending me horrors articles," and I did. And I think to Shape's point, like, sure, I thought I was gonna, stir their soul somehow, and all I got was sort of a stone wall, and so I had to find another outlet, and now I'm fucking on Clubhouse. So I don't know. That's just, I wanted to share that anecdote because I started searching through my texts and remember that interaction and how like I not reached them, but I started to annoy them and affected my relationship.
Appreciate the share. The laugh emoji was a wrong emoji. I pushed the wrong button.
It is a little fun, comical that I thought I was accomplishing something.
I think Shapeshifter's complaint wasn't necessarily that it's rude. Hold on, I have a.
Do you know what you accomplished? Sometime in a year, 5 years, 10 years, everybody will know exactly what happened. People have to ask themselves, what happened? What did I do? And when they try to say, I didn't know, they didn't tell me, it's the media, you will tell them, but I did tell you. And you will have, and then they will have to do their own soul searching because you did tell them. And they didn't listen. And that's what you did. And that will push them to save themselves and make sure they understand what happens. And not to repeat it again, and why it was so horrible. That's why it's important. And the safest way for the triumph of evil is for good people to do nothing. You did something.
What did you do? You came on Conhouse and talked for fucking 6 hours.
But if everybody held back evil by a step, we might actually hold it back. But most people are lazy and egotistical and narcissistic. But you are not. And that's the most important thing.
Thank you. It's so validating talking to Israelis. There was another earlier interaction I had during the height of the genocide where I reached out to this guy, Ori Goldberg, an Israeli political scientist who often comments very beautifully and poetically about the experience of living in a society sort of disintegrating into this like moral abyss and everyone around him is genocidal and sort of what that experience is like. He sort of documents the decay of his society. And so I wrote him a letter because I felt like so crazy that I'm like living in this reality that nobody recognized on Twitter. And he wrote me back the most beautiful thing ever. I don't know if you guys want me to read it.
I the same experience with Oli. He always checks on me. He is in a very advanced cancer situation. Hopefully he'll get out of it. But and he's a wonderful, wonderful person. You should read it.
So I reached out and I said, I just want to pop in and say your Twitter feed makes me cry every day. I'm glad your surgery went okay. I'm sick of what's going on in the States. And he said, thank you. I said, at least in Israel, thank you for conveying a very beautiful truth. At least for Israeli Jews, it's not blasphemy to criticize Netanyahu. He goes, well, the criticism is often a cover for supporting his main policy, genocide. So I don't know which is worse. And then I wrote, I don't get it. We Ashkenazim are raised on image-emaciated children and ghettos and prisoners behind barbed wire seared into our minds. And my family against our Lithuanian neighbors who turned a blind eye has somehow lasted for 4 generations. And yet, so when we look at the same images from Gaza, they don't see what I see. I feel like I'm causing pain to the people I love just for stating the obvious. My family consumes the news through Hasbara influencers, and who am I to rip away their comfort blanket when the truth is so much to bear? I tell myself I'm doing them a favor by speaking my mind because it will be worse when the smoke clears and the genocide charges start rolling out and they find out that the children of the Holocaust have caused another Holocaust, and they realize that they've been tying themselves into knots trying to justify it. But the reality is I'm probably reaching no one, just isolating myself and reinforcing their misguided beliefs, and there will never be a reckoning within the organized Jewish world about their role in funding and being apologists for the annihilation of the people. And he writes, he's literally made me cry, like I was so overwhelmed. I don't even know this guy. He says, I really wish I had something smart to say. I don't. I know the pain of which you speak. It is my pain as well. I've cut off a great majority of my social ties. I don't work in the profession I had pursued my whole life. The feeling you describe, it is, as you say, not even a feeling. It is sensory data. You can't argue with what you see. And you see. If you tried to shut your eyes, even if you tried to avert your gaze, it would consume all your energy. This is about your survival as a coherent, meaningful human being. It isn't about a vain to die defending your chosen hallowed ground. You don't have a choice. You are yourself. The rapture will come. The whimper, rather.
The rapture will come!
And the images will circulate and the lies will surface. And your family and all the others will squint for a while and agree reluctantly to take the bandages off their eyes. And they will begin to see. They won't apologize. But you will still be yourself when they squirm. And you will still be a force for good. That is my small comfort in this hour of wolves.
It is so hard
That
to
shit
be
is
a
so
person
funny.
that doesn't go with group think.
Oh
Like,
man,
the
this like
amount
pity
of,
party is amazing.
blows, like hits and criticism and hurt and accusations that a person that doesn't go with groupthink has to engage in. It's so tough. It really is tough. Like, even when it comes to like the conflict of Iran, well, actually, I don't even need to the word conflict.
Hello?
So I'll avoid it. But for
Hello?
example, for Iran,
Hit that like button and subscribe right now. Subscribe! Subscribe right now!
gain their freedom.
Hello?
They
Their freedom?
accept help.
I want
from
freedom
the Islamic
too!
Republic of Iran.
I want some
Well, the
more
Islamic
freedom!
Republic
How do I
of
get
Iran
more
is the
freedom?
Iranian people. So
Hello?
when the Iranian people see the Palestinians
Hello?
taking help from the Islamic Republic of Iran, they're like, fuck you, you scum, you pieces of shit, we hate you. And they say all this, they just throw up all this vile commentary. Now, on the flip side, the Iranian people, all they want is their freedom, just like the Palestinian. And guess whose help that they're reaching out for? Israeli. So what do the pro-Palis do? You fucking scum, you did that. And here we are, the people that are stuck in the middle who have reason outside of group think to understand, like, both these people are their freedom and they're utilizing any method of mechanism to see it. And instead of attacking the oppressed people of each group, right? Instead of attacking the oppressed people that are Palestinian, instead of attacking the Iranian people that want to be free. Bonnie, could you mute it? It kind of throws me off when I hear a little bit of background. I'm sorry, I'm ADHD. We don't stand with the people because we're narrow-minded and we go with groupthink and we go with whatever narrative that we're being fed. So you have these people and they hate each other on either side. This is amazing to me. My life is freaking amazing. For 2 years, I was trying to convince Iranians and other people that 30,000 children have been killed. Now I'm on the other end trying to convince pro-Palis that over 30,000
Why do you need to convince them? Sorry, can I ask you something? Why do you need to convince the pro-Palestinians community?
The pro-Palestinians, because here's the thing.
Can they do something?
No, yeah.
They're useless. No, they're useless.
I know you think that because you haven't seen fruit.
No, I don't. I seen them in action. I think the pro-Palestinian community is not really... Okay, I do understand what you're saying, but I want to do some correction.
But I wasn't done, and now I forgot the rest of it. It's okay. It was going to be really good, but I don't even remember.
I believe it was going to be good.
Thank you.
It was going to be epic and you ruined it.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with
Just
these
preparing a
Israelis. You know, they keep interrupting, like Emeralds and Benny. Is it something in Israel that doesn't let someone else
Bonnie
finish?
is
Funny.
Go ahead.
So the Palestinians did not really get help from Iran. The one who got help from Iran was Hamas. So even if you look at the Palestinian in Palestine, you're not gonna find one Iranian hospital. Like, they did not build it. All that money was coming from to Iran, to Hamas, and mostly Qatar. So there's kind of an image that being sold to the Iranians who are being oppressed instead of Iran. We are in deep shit because we're standing with the Palestinians. No, sorry, you're not in deep shit because you stand with the Palestinians. No, you're just oppressing, and you're in deep shit because you're corrupt and you have all this kind of shit. So it's not related. Iranians are not really getting help from Iran. The help is getting...
Bonnie, you're missing what I'm saying. What I'm saying. These are the propaganda narrative that each side is given, and then they believe to hate other people. Like, I can't tell you how many times we had Zionist Persians come into a room and just say the most vile thing. Okay, and you now you need to go into the rooms of pro-Pallies and see what the hell they say towards Iranians.
I know what they're saying.
Yeah.
But they don't matter. My approach.
What doesn't matter are the people that are suffering on both sides. That's what doesn't matter.
No, the one who matter are the people who are suffering.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But
so
that's
the problem,
what I'm saying. But
putting energy.
When people have these different propagandas, they make the oppressed not matter and they stand against the oppressed. So right now, like in Amir's room, when he doesn't listen to the Iranian people and them saying, we're crying, there's a guy here. And he like thinks that everything is just a lie, that the Iranian people are, it's just Mossad propaganda, all this stuff. And,
is he Iranian?
No, he's not. He's a pro-Pali.
Okay, is he
Amir, what if Amir?
Prince?
No, Amir.
Okay,
the rooms that always run 24/7 for Palestine.
Okay. So here's the thing: if you're not Palestinian, if you're not Iranian, you don't really matter. Let me explain why. At the end of the day, those pro-Palestinian community, once they are unaffected, by the way. I really don't care, by the way, about October 7 woken up the pro-Palestinian community. If that community was asleep and they need to see blood to wake up, then they can fuck themselves. At the end of the day, they have zero influence. Zero influence because A, they could not stop the genocide. B, they just doing some money out of it. There's a lot of grifters in the pro-Palestinian community that they built careers out of this genocide. And the same thing on the other side. At the end of the day, who's gonna decide when there's elections out of Palestine, when there's a free election is gonna be in Iran? It's gonna be the Iranians or the Palestinians. Now, if you look at the core inside of these people, put the propaganda aside, you go to ask the average Iranian, not the spaces or the Zionist Iranian who live in LA. Yes, the average Iranian. Who's anti-regime? He's anti-IRGC, but he just want to go with his day and he just want to put food on the table. So, like, people are dying in South Palestine. He'll tell you, yes, I know. Like, are you supporting that? He's not going to be. The same thing with you catch someone in the West Bank and you tell him about Iran. He's going to curse the IRGC because the IRGC are oppressing the people inside of Gaza using their Hamas. Right? So, at the end of the day, the pro-X, pro-Y, pro-whatever, they don't really matter. They don't. Why would I literally burn 400 calories in trying to explain to someone who's Zionist Iranian that, no, we are humans? You don't want to. Go fuck yourself. That's it. End of discussion. You came with a conclusion that the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Okay, great. I cannot change that. That means that you don't have any morals.
Yeah, but this is on both sides. Like, it's just...
No, I know it is on both sides. No one attacked the pro-Palestinian community as much as me. Okay? So I know it is on both sides.
Why are you attacking the pro-Palestinian community? I'm trying to understand that.
Because the new trend in the pro-Palestinian community, they're pro-Hamas, they're not pro-Palestine.
How do you know they're pro-Hamas?
Because when I see their posts, I see they are pro-Hamas. They're very few.
So you see everyone's who is pro-Palestinians.
No, not everyone. The one I saw.
Okay, so then you're generalizing, right?
No.
Yeah, I am generalizing right now on the grifters. I'm generalizing on the grifters with the loud voices.
Wednesday, let him finish his point.
I'm generalizing on the loud voices, that community. Okay? That community that think that Palestine is equal to Hamas. Okay? So if you're in that camp and you're very loud, this is all we hear. The pro-Palestinian community for Palestinians does not really matter. Does not. With all due respect.
Can I say something? You know,
Hold on, before you do, I just want to point out the irony is, this is more so amongst like the Western pro-Palestinian communities that are, a lot of whom are not Palestinian or not even Arab, right? If you actually talk to Palestinians, especially on the ground, all of them.
Yeah, I've had that same experience. I hate them all.
Yeah, it's almost like a video game.
This is also true for the diaspora of like the Iranians, right? All this is happening in the diaspora. This is what we're saying. These taking sides, a friend of my friend, enemy of my enemy, is like so black and white.
It is like soccer game. No, just
Yeah,
I support Real Madrid, you support Barcelona, and let's see who's gonna play
correct.
tonight.
And the people, exactly, Manny, the people themselves are being forgotten. What are the people? For God's sake.
So a big problem. You guys are aware of tribalism. So tribalism.
Say, make your point really quick, or you're gonna get.
All right, I'll just leave. Go fuck yourself.
Bye.
Bye.
Alright, toodles.
That was good.
Bye, Felicia. Bye,
That
Felicia.
was
I've never-
badass, Buttercup. That was really
That was good.
Yeah, like honestly, man, you're
that was
coming into
good.
a Middle Eastern space and asking if we know what tribalism is. Bitch, we fucking invented it.
Dude, and Middle Eastern
That's pretty funny. Yeah.
Oh, that was so good. That was so quick.
I already know the point that he was gonna make, and it's a bunch of shit because he wants to make this point that people care more about their tribes, blah blah blah. That's not true. We have one tribe that are the fucking Care Bears, and then you have another tribe that's a whole bunch of psychopaths. Which
Honestly, if you
tribe?
put it like that, I'd rather be a psychopath than a Care Bear.
I'm sunshine bear.
No, I'd rather be a Care Bear.
Yeah, I'm Rainbow Care Bear.
That is such a Care Bear.
You just made it ugly Bear, man. When we get
No, I have the Care Bear dad bod thing going, so.
But you get my drift, right? Like it's.
No, I
I
understand.
don't know. We'll take Buttercup, Nagus, and I will take donations for all the pain and suffering that we've incurred on this app. We'll send you our Cash App and Venmo, and you can reimburse us for all the pain.
Wait. I think both of you, Nargis and Salamid, and Buttercup and Emeralds, because to be honest with you, the Jewish community are very disgusting. Buttercup and Emeralds saying horrible things, disgusting, misogynist things. Oh my God!
Yeah, the Iranian community doesn't like us. You haven't heard the comments.
Wait. Hold on. Persian Jewish people too. We have our own particular brand of Zionism going on. It's
Are
not
they,
it's
are
on
they
every
mean-
side.
are they mean
Like
too?
at this point, everyone is mean to us.
Otherizing. Completely, Taco included, Mazi included.
No,
we are
It's not.
No.
We're catching it from
Of
every.
course.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
They are a bunch of vicious Nazi
Hey, what's up,
scary
Taco?
as
How you doing, Shay? How's everyone?
Good, man. We had some Arab
Come
on
and
Arab,
get you.
Arab on Arab hate happening. You missed it.
Yeah, like they'll say things like, "How's your dad, Sayla?" Oh, bitch, I will fuck you up.
I'll come and find you in California.
See, this is why I have to talk to them the way I talk to them, because they're animals. They're animals. Sorry, they are.
It's not just
So I
them.
resort to
Lindsay.
being an animal back.
I resent just saying it's them because at the end right now I have pro pallies. They can't see past the hand in front of their face, and they like attack Persians and Iranians, and they like, oh, it's all lies. It's all. But there's no difference in me. They are acting exactly how the Zionists were acting to us when we were trying to inform them about atrocities. Now we're trying to inform you about other atrocities, and you're doing exactly what they did to us when we were informing them about atrocities. So all these people, all of them, they only care about their own goals, agenda, and narrative. And unable to see past any of that, which I get it now. Like, I totally get it, but I don't hold it against anyone anymore. I don't hold it against the Palestinians for, trying to work with the Islamic Republic, and I don't hold it against the Iranians for trying to work with the Israelis, because this whole world seems to be evil to me, and like, what are you gonna do?
Form of
At this
individualism.
Once you understand that this whole world is evil, you're ready to become an Gnostic.
That is correct,
It's
baby.
so sad.
That is correct. Like I'm not like
Stop
okay.
evangelizing, guys. It's gross.
I wanna address shapeshifters' point, and I think it was like misunderstood. And this is what Mark is saying, who I highly respect, right, in the chats. And I think it's true. He's saying like using provocative language shows like a disgusting like collective hate and sort of like false moral equivocation, right? So I understand what Mark and Shape are saying. They're saying like this doesn't help the narrative of the oppressed to sort of push through because all an onlooker is hearing is hate, hate, hate. This is worse than the Holocaust. This is worse than this and that. Like Bani quite like effectively put forth, right? So I also want you guys to sort of be objective and see the other side of the picture too.
I appreciate that, Nargis, and you said it much better than I did. The thing I will admit, as I'm kind of thinking through Benny's point, I think there is a place for this jarring language, and it can be effective. It's probably more situational than it is the norm. But the points he brought up in terms of when and how to use it, I think if you're situational with it, it can be effective. I'm not telling anybody how to feel. It's not my right to tell anybody
Also
how to
depends
feel.
who's saying it, you know? I feel like Jews can get away with it more than non-Jews. It's so funny, like, when Benny Olive said, described this live stream genocide and how it's worse than the Holocaust, I wasn't offended, but then when Sella repeated it, I was just like, Sella, what the fuck, you know? I think it's, like, depends who's saying it. I think as Jews, we have a little bit more credibility to be like, invoke the Holocaust gratuitously to make a point to the people we love because we urgently wanted to stop. And then when non-Jews will say the same thing, sometimes I balk a little bit. Like, I do react and be like, okay, first of all, have you seen the concentration camps? Have you seen the pile of shoes? Have you seen the mass deaths? Have you seen the pile of bodies? Like, it makes me feel like worried that they don't know the scale of our suffering to think that you can compare it.
But
also on the other end, it makes you think to yourself, like, why do you suppose nothing could be worse? Like, so when he says it, I'm objective. So I'm objective, and I'm like, oh, how is it worse? And then when I listen, I understand what he's invoking. Do you understand what I mean?
I'm gonna give you an example. How I have conversation with Muslims, Arabs more specifically. We're getting to a world where artificial things are becoming more holier than the really important thing. Meaning, artificial. Okay, so the memory of the Holocaust is becoming more holier than the blood itself, right? So, for example, when I sit in front of one of those Muslim Brotherhood or one religious Salafis, Imros knows that the first thing I burn for them, I burn the Al-Aqsa. Like, I tell them I want Al-Aqsa to be destroyed or give it to the Israelis, and I'm gonna pay for the carpet for the new temple, because for me, blood of a Gazan kid is more holier than Al-Aqsa and Mecca and everything. So they get that shock immediately. I want to break any kind of taboos in my conversation because the holiest thing is blood. And if you think, oh, a stone, Buttercup, like the shoes of the Holocaust, or that thing is more holy. No, they were talking about artificial shit. There's nothing holier than the blood of a kid. So I bring Al-Aqsa into it. I bring Mecca. I got in so much trouble. Like, if you go listen to my recording about
why you concentrate on kids?
Yes, that
all those old people, same like me. Hey, man, you are a racist.
By the way, if you go back to religion, if you go back to religion, and God said it, that Kaaba can be destroyed stone by stone, it's still better than the blood of a Muslim.
Don't make me cry, please. I am a man. I can't. Please. Love you, brother. Bani. Okay, go ahead.
Do you love Bani?
هذا شوي مطلوب. سامحه. الله يشفيك. Anyway, so I'm talking to a Muslim, I'll just get the holiest thing for him, because sometimes we create holy things, but they're artificial. And if you go to the core of my belief as a Muslim, the Al-Aqsa, like Kaaba, should not be the holier than blood. And the land itself, like the land of Palestine, is not holier than the Palestinians. Because a lot of Palestinian diaspora think that Palestine is just the land. No, it's not. You're missing the land. Why? Because you exist. But for some Palestinians who's living in the land, Palestine is the people. Like heaven without people, you cannot go into it, as we say in Arabic. So I just want to break that taboo for them, because sometimes they misunderstand their belief.
Fair enough. He's doing it on both sides. So, Mark, I did
That's a good
address your
point. It's
point.
about the way people talk to their own communities and their own families, which is different, tends to strike a different note, and we have a little bit more liberty to speak our minds and use provocative language than when we're talking to someone, when you're someone who's not familiar and doesn't have that intimacy, right?
I just want to tell Mark, because he wasn't, one second, because he wasn't here, I just want to address it again. Mark said provocative language is just euphemism for disgusting collectivist hatred and moral equivocation. Agreed. And it doesn't allow for progress to occur. Also addressed, Mark, for your sake, I'm repeating this again, shapeshifter's view that this does not entail any kind of progress for the collective who is going through the suffering. So I was asking them to see both sides of the equation. And for those who tread the middle path, for those who do not belong, Stella, this goes out to you. Robert Frost, two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference.
And going on the path that's untraveled, like basically there's no path there, so you're gonna get cut up by the thorns and the stupid grass and the freaking snakes in the grass because no one's ever gone on that path before. So you're gonna get your ass ate up by ants and mosquitoes.
Thank you for the tafsir. Thank you.
It did sound a little bit more appealing, though.
I just don't understand why the world has to be like this, and I grieve often. I just wish I could get over it. And I kind of am. Like, I kind of am. Like, this is what the world is. Like, the world of politics is a dirty game, and people shake hands with devils, and there's nothing I can do to change it. That's how I'm starting to feel. I don't know if that's like a grim. I'm starting to think like people have to navigate. Like,
Yeah, this world is run by the devil. Like, well, we know this. It is the evil who is willing to, commit atrocities, who's willing to bend the rules, who's willing to cheat. That's who wins.
Satan
Like,
is
that's just the reality of it.
I'm starting to actually understand original sin, to be honest. Like, human condition on one side, starting to see it's fucking innate within us to be this shit.
Nargis,
At the same time, how great we are to overcome this. Go ahead.
Nargis, you need evil to understand good. You know this. That's sort of like your jam. You know this.
Not a duelist, but...
No, actually, that's true. Like, me, even though I was an atheist for, like, almost a decade and a half, I never had a problem with the problem of evil. Because how are you to understand good without evil? How do you know what's light without dark? How do you know what's cold without hot?
But when the source of all of this is all good, Benny.
Okay, here's what we learned from the Jews at least learned from the Holocaust, that we are all evil, capable of evil, and we're all capable of good, okay? No one's inherently evil, contrary to Benny Goy's beliefs. No one's inherently evil, and none of us, and we're all capable. What the Holocaust teaches us, what the lesson of the Holocaust is that we all have the capacity for evil, and we have all the capacity to dehumanize the other, and it's a warning against the capacity of man to hate another man. And that's what makes us all human.
I'm with Benny a little bit, Buttercup. Like, we slant evil. We really do, because it's kind of like you're a biological machine that's trying to survive. So that's an intrinsic weighting towards self, which is a slant towards evil. I'm not saying it's a huge slant. I'm just saying you're kind of tipping evil.
Yeah, just like you say that there's a little Nazi inside all of us. I would say like there's a little Pharisee inside all of us.
Who said
the same thing.
No one said that, man.
Buttercup said that earlier.
I was referring to your. Never mind. Your bigotry towards.
This was a couple hours ago, but yeah, like I remember. It's true.
By the way, for Benny Goy, exactly, for Benny Goy, who's now a new Gnostic, I think he often forgets that when the source of it all is all good, Benny. Evil. It's really the absence of evil.
But he's not Christian anymore?
You're not Christian.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Thank God.
Only on Tuesdays.
Wait, hold on.